Hello, I'm Elisa, and thank you for joining me. This practice is designed to help you start your day in the right way. So bring yourself to stand at the top of your mat, the soles of your feet together, and your hands high above the crown of your head in prayer. As you exhale with your hands still in prayer, humbly bow down towards the earth, with a soft bend in your knees and a little bit of tone in your belly. As you hang out there in your forward bend, just begin to gently rock your torso from side to side and alternately bend your knees. Take a deep breath in and halfway lift, looking forwards through heart and eyes. And then exhale and fold, hinging at the hips back into your thighs. Rise again on the in-breath and exhale as you fold back in. One last time the same, inhaling again and exhale as you stretch out your spine and hamstrings. Try to fold a little bit deeper now and possibly bring the palms of your hands along with the soles of your feet to the floor. Grounding your palms, step one foot then the other back and arrive in plank, drawing your belly towards your spine and lifting your heart between the shoulder blades. Try to align your shoulders and your hips. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, draw back into down facing dog. And as you inhale, shift forwards and return to plank. Continue to ride the breath forwards and back from down facing dog to plank pose. Returning to down facing dog, raise your right leg high and externally rotate the thigh as you bend the knee and draw the heel towards your left buttock. With strong arms, spread your fingers then root down through the stalks of your fingers and thumbs. Now smoothly transition your right foot between your hands, ground your left foot and ascend into Warrior One. Squaring the hips and lifting your heart and eyes. Bend your elbows and draw together your shoulder blades. Palms of your hands turned upwards to the sky. Take some long deep breaths, expanding the belly and the chest. Now swim your hands behind your back and form reversed prayer. Pressing your palms together and drawing together your shoulder blades, continue to lift your gaze and breathe deeply, filling the belly and the chest. On the next in-breath, straighten your right leg without locking your knee. And on the exhale, contracting the deep core muscles, begin to fold forwards along the center line of your mat, gazing beyond the tips of your toes. Do your best to keep your spine long and your hips aligned, drawing the right thigh bone into the hip and internally rotating the left thigh. Keep trying to draw your elbow points upwards towards the sky. As you continue to breathe deeply, try to maintain this stretch, using the forward bend as a means of quietening both the nervous systems and your brain. Releasing your hands from prayer, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Either poised on your fingertips or grabbing a couple of blocks or chunky books, keep your left hand on the mat beneath the shoulder and raise your right arm upwards to the sky, taking your revolved triangle pose. Breathing deeply into the twist, keep drawing your right thigh bone into the hip and steering the left ribs and waist towards the inner right thigh. Maintaining a long spine and a strong core, exhale and bring both hands back to shoulder width to the floor and step back to revisit plank. Upon the exhale, form down facing dog pose and take some steady breaths here. If everything still feels good and as it should, inhale and raise your left leg towards the sky and externally rotating the thigh bone into the hip, draw the heel of your left foot towards your right buttock. Again, let your arms be strong and press down into the pads of your fingers, the roots of your fingers and thumbs. Deep breath in to transition and ground your back foot. Squaring the hips, inhale and circle the room with the fingertips, lifting your gaze through navel, heart and eyes as you form Warrior One. Bending your elbows and squeezing together the flesh between the shoulder blades, perhaps to help create a little bit of mental focus and clarity. Form Gyan Mudra by pressing the tips of your forefingers upon the tips of your thumbs. As you exhale, bring your hands behind your back and once again nestle the little finger sides of your hands between the shoulder blades. Forming reversed prayer with your hands, draw your shoulder blades together and once again smile your heart towards the sky. As you take a long deep breath in, straighten your front leg without locking the knee. And maintaining the position of your hands in prayer, exhale and hinge at the hip crease, looking forwards through heart and eyes beyond the front of your toes. Revisiting your forward bend, try to ensure that your hips have stayed aligned as you draw the left thigh bone back into the left hip and slightly roll the right hip forwards a bit. Maintain the length in the front of your body as well as the back as you breathe deeply. Forward bend, release your hands to frame your foot again and draw your torso parallel to the floor. With your right hand either on a block or poised on your fingertips to give you more height, begin to turn your navel, heart and eyes towards the left and reach up with your fingers and spread the fingers like a star. Upon the exhale, bring your left hand back to the mat and with hands shoulder width apart, step back to plank. Continue to maintain strong core engagement as you bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder and cross your right ankle on top of your left. Let your right arm frame the side of your face and see if you can bow your ribs and waist towards the sky as you form Vashisthasana, your side plank. Breathe into that shape for as long as you comfortably can. And if you need to rest in between, do so. Otherwise, come and take your side plank to the second side. Again, work at your own level. Listen to your body. Work at your own pace. Press away the floor strongly with your supporting palm. Maintain steady breaths. Don't let the challenge of being in the pose compromise your breathing. In your own time, take a forward-facing plank and then transition knees, chest, chin with your elbows tucked in. From here, bring your hands behind your back and interlock your fingers somewhere near your tailbone. Squeeze together your inner thighs and pointing your toes, and as you float your sternum and your legs as high as you comfortably can off the floor, keep your buttocks engaged and come into locust pose. Breathe deeply and try to elongate between your crown and your tail. With every pose, just stay as long as you feel comfortable. When you're ready, bring your hands to the floor either side of your armpits. Press away the floor, tuck in your chin, cave your belly, and slowly begin to rise up through cat into downward facing dog. Stretching out your spine, deepening your breath, and rooting down towards the earth through your heels. Pausing for a few conscious breaths in down facing dog before descending your knees to the floor and prowling forwards your palms. Let your arms frame your ears as you bow your head towards the earth. Externally rotating the arms, turn the palms now to face the sky. And as you come into heart melting pose, whilst your sit bones rise, let your heart melt humbly towards the earth. As you bring your hands back beneath your shoulders, settle yourself into a kneeling position before bringing your elbows to the floor. Slide your legs back, lower your pubic bone and hips, and melting your shoulders away from your ears, take Sphinx. To release your neck, just gently move your head from side to side a couple of times, and then softly gaze along the bridge of your nose towards its tip. Imagine drawing your elbows back towards your hips. If being in Sphinx on your forearms feels okay, and your lower back feels happy, raise your elbows, raise your forearms, and then just ease into your neck. A little bit more. Once again, work with intelligence of what your body needs this morning. Slowly, as you lower yourself to the ground, bend your right knee and place your left forearm parallel with the front of your mat. Wrapping your hand around the toes and winging the elbow to the sky, see if you can draw, with long deep breaths, your heel to your right buttock. Now exchange legs and arms, bringing your right forearm to the floor and pressing down firmly. Keep your gaze forwards as you bend your left knee and draw with the help of your left hand your heel towards your left buttock. winging the left elbow to the sky. As you continue to breathe steadily and mindfully, bring yourself back to kneel and reverse your sit bones back to your heels as you come into child pose. Let your shoulders relax and breathe long deep breaths into the plane of your back and feel your belly softly rising and falling against your thighs. Slowly bring yourself up to kneel, resting your sit bones on your heels and keeping your ankles side by side. Once again, interlock your fingers behind your back and send your knuckles first of all to the floor beyond your tail, and then gently begin to lift your knuckles a little bit higher, in line with your kidneys perhaps. Once again, try to stretch out your front body. Releasing your hands back to your thighs, just take a moment of pause to draw up tall through your spine and to cultivate a profound connection with your breath and an intimate connection with your body and how it feels. Sit quietly in the rebound and just be aware of whatever feelings, sensations, and thoughts that are there. As you place your right hand to the right of your hip, just draw a deep side stretch into the body. Framing the side of your face with your left arm, drop into gravity and breathe via the left armpit all the way down the side ribs and waist towards your left hip. When you're ready, change sides, bringing your left hand to the outer edge of your left hip and reaching all the way up and overhead with your right arm. From here, inhale, raise both arms to frame your ears and reach up with your fingertips towards the heavens. Upon the exhale, transition your right hand behind your tail and your left hand to the outside edge of your thigh. Take a twist as you rise up through the spine. Breathe into that twist with awareness, climbing up through the vertebrae, bone by bone, breath by breath, until you arrive at the neck. And then use that as a cue to glance over your left shoulder down in the direction of your hip. As you incline the head and soften the shoulders, feel a stretch into the side of your neck and upper traps. Releasing from your secondary and primary twist, inhale and raise both of your arms. And as you exhale, take that second twist with the right hand placed lightly on the side of the left thigh and the left hand positioned behind your toes. Take some long deep breaths in and out of your body through the nose, working your way mindfully and patiently into that twist and sensing the effects deepening both physically and mentally. When you're ready, take that second twist and turn your face over your right shoulder, glancing down past the shoulder blade towards the hip. And again, let the weight of your head facilitate that stretch into the left side of your neck and upper traps. Once again, as you relinquish the twists, inhale and raise your arms and interlock your fingers, turning your palms to face the sky. Reach up high, opening up the side body and drawing up tall through the spine. Upon the exhale, send your knuckles forwards and bow your head to your heart. You're drawing your belly towards your spine as you gaze down towards your navel center. Pause and feed some long, deep and expansive breaths into the back of your chest. Having created a little bit more space in the back of the heart, inhale and raise your hands, pressing away the sky before angel winging your hands down by your hips. As you're settling your sitting bones to one side or the other of your heels, outstretch both of your legs in front of you and find staff pose. Grounding through your sitting bones, descending the pubic bone and tail, flex your feet, roll internally your thighs and press your calf muscles in the backs of your thighs and heels firmly down into the ground. As you next inhale, raise your arms once again to frame your ears and reach with your fingertips towards the heavens. Take a long, deep stretch through the side ribs and waist, front body and back. Upon the exhale, hollow the belly and draw it upwards towards your rib cage. And hinging at the crease of your hips, allow your heart to travel forwards in the direction of your shins. Let your hands just rest lightly by your feet, or on your shins, or on the floor. Let your shoulders relax, and allow yourself now a few long, steady, conscious breaths into this shape, stretching out your back body, stretching out your hamstrings, once again soothing and calming your nervous systems and your brain. In your own time, extend your arms forwards to frame your ears again. Unhinging at the hip crease with a deep breath in, raise your arms and bring your hands back down by your sides. Bring yourself quietly to sit cross-legged, hands in prayer in front of your heart, and bring your practice this morning to a close. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.